From gathering to growing food, the beginning of farming. The changing climate. About 12,000 years ago, as the earth started warming up, large grasslands came up. Wheat, rice, barley, oats were grasses that grew naturally in the wild. Man realized he could eat the grain. Understanding crops. As man observed, he saw that these plants sprouted from seeds and grew and bore grain in certain seasons. Man must have protected these plants from other birds and animals so that he could get the grain to eat. Beginning farming. Man must have tried to plant the seeds and grow these crops himself. This was the first farming activity. Once man could grow food, he could stay in one place and grow food around him. He didn't have to keep finding places where the food was growing naturally. Man could settle down. He didn't have to be nomadic anymore. As man harvested a lot of grain, he also had to think of storing it carefully. So he had big baskets or pits where he kept it. And that's how man's life changed from gathering to growing food. Think and discuss. Once man learned how to farm, he did not have to wander around. He could settle in one place. Explain this statement. Domestication. The story of Mowgli. Remember who raised him as a baby? The wolves. Early man and wolves. There are many stories of children being raised by wolves. That's because a pack of wolves and a pack of humans is quite similar. Wolves and people. They live in packs. The pack is family based. The pack has a male leader with a female partner. The members of the pack trust each other but not outsiders. All members look after their young as a group. Early man and wolves. So in real life, this means that wolf cubs can adapt easily to life among humans too. About 12,000 years ago, man must have started having wolves as pets. Men and wolves hunted together and protected each other. Wolves learned how to live with man as a part of the group. All the dogs that you see today are descendants of wolves. Think and discuss. Wolves were probably the first animals that man started having as pets. Give any 3 reasons why that must have happened. Early man's herd. Man realized that animals like cows, sheep, and goats ate grass and were gentle. Man protected these animals from other wild animals, and from them he would get milk and fur. That is how man started herding animals. Scientists think that the first animals that man domesticated for food are sheep. After that were goats. Cattle and pigs must have been bred a little later. By herding animals, man had a constant supply of meat. Live animals would give dung or manure for crops. Animals like cows make much more milk than their babies need, so man could use their milk. Animals like the ox have a lot of strength, much more than man, that man could use. Think and discuss. Man domesticated animals like cows, sheep, and goats. Give 3 benefits that man must have enjoyed by domesticating these animals. Early man's herd. Dead animals would be useful for their meat. Their skin could be used as leather, their horns and bones for weapons, their fat could be used for candles, their hooves could be used for glue. Think and discuss. Domestic animals were useful to early man even after they died. Mention any two uses of dead domestic animals to early man. Domestication. What does domestication mean? Domestication means adapting wild plants and animals for human use. Domestic species are raised for food, work, clothing, medicine, and many other uses. Humans have to care for domestic species. They have to raise them too. Domestic species cannot survive on their own in the wild. Humans have already domesticated several plants and animals. When people domesticated plants, they planted seeds where there was the right amount of water and sun. Some plants were domesticated for food, some for fiber, like cotton, and some for decoration, like tulips. Domesticating animals is hard. It's a little easier to domesticate animals that graze, like cows, goats, etc. Some animals that were domesticated long ago are no longer useful for that reason. Dogs were domesticated for hunting but are now mostly pets. When people choose an animal or plant to domesticate, they have to check for lots of things. Is the plant or animal useful? Can it resist diseases? Can it reproduce if domesticated? Can it live in difficult climates? With many years of domestication, animals and plants start looking quite different from their wild ancestors. They also develop different characteristics and behavior. Dogs descended from grey wolves. Wild chickens weighed about 1 kg. Domestic ones now weigh about 6 or 7 kg. They give more meat. They also lay many more eggs. When scientists find a site, they look for animal bones and remains of grains. That tells them what plants and animals were domesticated by the people living there. A settled life. Early houses. Once man learned how to grow food and domesticate animals, he could stay in one place. Then he tried to make his life more comfortable. So he started building houses. In some places, archaeologists have found pit houses. Pit houses had entrances through a hole in the roof. These houses were warm in the summer and cool in the winter. However, after about 15 years, the pit house would have to be abandoned. It could not last for very long. Stone tools in the kitchen. Archaeologists have also found stone tools at different sites that may have been used for cutting, polishing, and grinding grain. There were mortars and pestles. There were stone grinders. There were even flour mills. In fact, stone tools are made and sold in India even now. Stone tools are still very much a part of Indian kitchens. Other tools. Stone was one of the materials that early man used. Some tools were also made of bone. Many earthen pots were found too. Some were decorated. Archaeologists think that they may have been used for storing and cooking food. Fibre and fabric. Man grew plants like cotton so that he could use the fibre of the plant. Man weaved that fibre to make cloth. Early man's progress. Early man progressed quickly in some places, and some continued living like hunter-gatherers.